Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sister Wives is renowned for featuring tumultuous dynamics, particularly involving one cast member who struggles to get along with the others. The popular reality TV show first premiered in 2010, focusing on the life of Kody Brown and his three wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine Brown. Kody's courtship of Robyn Brown, his fourth wife, was the focus of Sister Wives Season 1, and Kody put a lot of effort into this new marriage. His devotion to his fourth wife made his other wives feel like they were being neglected and admired. Kody began to drift apart from his first three wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine, as his obsession with Robyn grew over time. Each wife in the family dealt with the stress of their failing marriage in their own way. Mary stood out the most when she unknowingly fell for someone she met through social media, who turned out to be a catfish. Finally, in 2023, she mustered the courage to end a relationship with Kody after years of keeping quiet. Mary made the bold decision to leave Flagstaff, Arizona, behind and dedicate her life to traveling and managing her own bed and breakfast in Utah. Over the past few months, Mary has transformed into a confident person, establishing her own business, worthy up, and diving back into the dating scene. Mary disagreed with other members of her family for a number of different reasons, but the main problem was that she let everyone abuse her. She remained submissive, which others in the family took advantage of until the very end. In the ever-turbulent world of Sister Wives, one cast member consistently finds herself at odds with the rest of the Brown family, a figure of controversy, confrontation, and complexity. Robyn Brown. Fans and even her co-stars have seen her ongoing arguments with Kody Brown's other wives, especially Janelle and Christine, and, surprising, with Kody himself in more recent seasons. While many point to jealousy, favoritism, or simple personality differences, the real reason why Robyn is always clashing with Janelle, Christine, and Kody runs far deeper, touching on issues of control, shifting power dynamics, loyalty, and a desire to preserve a version of plural marriage that perhaps only worked in theory, not in practice. Robyn's integration into the Brown family began with what seemed to be a hopeful fresh start. She was young, spiritual, and ready to embrace polygamy with wide-open arms. But the moment she stepped into the already precarious balance of the Brown household, the dynamics shifted. Christine, who was once the third wife and Kody's perceived sweetheart, suddenly began to lose her place, not just in the family's hierarchy, but in Kody's heart. Robyn's presence inadvertently or deliberately, depending on who you ask, disrupted the fragile bonds between the other wives. Janelle, always pragmatic and emotionally steady, didn't engage in immediate confrontation with Robyn, but over time, cracks began to show, and not just over differences in parenting styles, financial priorities, or home location preferences. What truly fueled the tension was Robyn's increasingly vocal stance on how plural marriage should look and how each wife should support Kody, something Janelle and Christine interpreted as veiled criticism of their independence. Christine, more emotionally expressive, was among the first to speak publicly and then walk away, when it became apparent that Kody's affection and attention were overwhelmingly concentrated on Robyn. The emotional support, holiday traditions, and mutual decision-making once shared among the wives were now sidelined, as Robyn's needs, or perhaps demands, took center stage. Robyn's inability or refusal to see herself as a member of the group was, however, the thing that really put her at odds with Christine. Whereas Christine fought for group harmony and shared experiences, Robyn's increasing isolation and one-on-one focus on her relationship with Kody created a wall that Christine could no longer ignore. By the time Christine made the bold move to leave the marriage, she made it clear. It wasn't just about Kody's favoritism, it was about Robyn's role in enabling it and benefiting from it without remorse. Janelle, though more reserved, began speaking out too, especially when it came to Coyote Pass, the family's undeveloped land that became the battleground for deeper issues. As finances, ownership stakes, and housing plans were discussed, Robyn often appeared to want the benefits of collective decision-making without making equal sacrifices. While subtly positioning herself as the obedient, spiritually aligned wife in contrast to Janelle's independence. She was perceived as wanting the dream house, the secure future, and the majority of Kody's presence. Tension reached a boiling point when Janelle, after years of giving up comfort for the sake of family unity, living in RVs, delaying her home-building dreams, found herself in disagreement with Robyn over timelines, debt, and priorities. The division was now more than just emotional. It was also financially, practically, and very personal. Even more striking, however, is Robyn's widening gap with Kody himself. While they once presented a united front, the weight of Kody's fractured relationships and his growing resentment toward his ex-wives began to wear even on his relationship with Robyn. She may have expected a close bond once the others left, a monogamous marriage by default, but what she received was a partner embittered, disillusioned, and constantly revisiting the past. Kody, who once idealized Robyn as the wife who did it right, began lashing out under the weight of rejection from his children and other spouses. He projected this hurt onto Robyn, and the once golden relationship began to show signs of strain. Robyn's confrontations with Kody became more frequent, more tearful, and more defensive. She disagreed with him because of the very expectations she had once placed on him, namely that he should lead, be followed, and act as the family's head. But with only one wife left, those ideals began to collapse. Robyn found herself alone at the top of a crumbling pyramid, expected to support a man who had emotionally alienated the rest of his family. The honeymoon phase was over, and the reality was stark. She was now married to the ghost of the Brown family. Robyn doesn't just fight with Christine, Janelle, and now even Kody because she's jealous or not fitting in. This is due to the fact that Robyn has always held a fundamentally different idea of how the Brown family ought to be, one that is based on spiritual hierarchy, submission, and centralized control. She's long been seen as the legal wife, a status change that took place when Kody divorced Mary to legally marry Robyn and adopt her children. However, this legal shift was accompanied by a change in power and perception. Robyn embraced the idea of a structured, almost traditional marriage model inside of a plural setting, a contradiction that clashed with the more egalitarian, if chaotic, arrangement the other wives had developed over decades. In addition to being sister wives, Christine and Janelle were also best friends, co-mothers, and in many ways, co-leaders of a large, complicated household. Robyn's model didn't include that kind of shared power. She preferred structure, hierarchy, and above all, a clear delineation between herself and the other women. That ideological rift, more than any fight over property or holiday schedules, is the true source of their conflict. Moreover, Robyn's consistent perception that she's the victim in all this has made things worse. Robyn has created an image that fans and cast members alike have become increasingly skeptical of, from her crying confessionals to her claims that she simply wants the family back. While she insists she's been unfairly blamed for the family's collapse, her actions, from taking on debt while others were living out of RVs, to emotionally siding with Kody as he distanced himself from his own children, paint a more complex picture. Christine, for one, has said that Robyn never truly welcomed her and instead seemed to view the Brown family as a stepping stone to building her own secure, nuclear family with Kody.